it's not just the Klaus Schwabs and the Faucis. All of them are the visible. The ones who really plan are behind the curtain. They don't want anyone to know who they are. There are dynasties that have continued since a long time. You know, some of the evidence for this has come out. I mean, for example, World War II documents, you know, after 80 years, they've released quite a bit, and you suddenly realize, hey, some of them are still now. That's right.
And who are some of those people?
The Rockefeller, Rothschilds, multinational corporations. And they tell you, it's all written, it's all laid out. They want one world government, one world health organization.
Shalom. Let me get straight into this lesson. You heard it for yourself, you know what I'm saying? The Bible ain't gonna lie. So let me get into this book of Job 9:24, then I'm gonna get into some condemning information. So you heard the Rothschild, Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Warburgs, the Medici family, even people that, you know, families that you never heard of, they've been controlling the world. So who controls the world? I'm going to show you. Whoever controls the so-called money controls the world. It says in the book of Job 9:24, Job laments that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Who is the wicked? Esau Edom, that's relabeled himself as so-called white, so-called Jewish, so-called German, so-called Spanish, so-called French, etc., etc. It says, you know, and that's pursuant to the book of Malachi, chapter 1 and 3. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. You know what I'm saying? And it says, in that Yahweh seems to cover the faces of the judges thereof, suggesting a world where justice is obscured and the wicked prosper. Now, that doesn't mean that. That means these devils whitewashed the artwork. They gave you a pseudo artwork with these so-called white Jesus and all his propaganda, religious propaganda. Check this out. It says Job is expressing his frustration and despair at seeing the wicked seemingly prosper and control the world. Let's go here. Okay, let's go here. Give me 1 second. Salakia. Let me get to this Jeremiah. Jeremiah 49:10. It says, but I have made Esau bare. So how is Esau and Edomites being made bare? Through this truth. It's uncovering that veil of deception and that secrecy, right, that they've been able to hide themselves under these pseudo ethnicities like white, like Jewish, like German, so on and so forth. I have uncovered his secret places. So this your Illuminati, you know, all the dealings, the money system, monetary system, you know, all the ills, the religious indoctrinations, the religious propaganda, all the lies. They control everything. They control what you see, you know, on TV, the media. They control the media. They control it all. The earth is in their control. And he should not be able to hide himself. So we calling these devils out. We marking these devils, right? Showing you who they are. So you can be aware that Esau, Edom, they even told you this lie that the Edomites were done away with. So they create these false doctrines. They create all this confusion and they want to do a one world system. That's what they're doing right now. They're going to bring in that mark of the beast, which is the Michael C. Hip. That's coming. That's the ultimate plan. It says his seed is spawned and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. So let's get into this right here. And when they call themselves Jewish, these are Amalekites, which would be the head tribe of the nation of Edom. It says Jew, Harrow, and we never called ourselves Jews. They have hijacked and created this name Jew, which they trying to say Judah, but they created their own name, Jewish, right, to cause this confusion and to pose as Jacob. It says our power has been created through manipulation of the national monetary system. It says the Federal Reserve System has fitted our plan nicely since it's owned by us. So they create money out of thin air. They control all the world economies. But the name implies that it's a government institution, which that's a lie. It says from the very onset, our purpose was to confiscate all the gold and silver. They got all the gold and silver dispersed throughout they strongholds, if you would. You know, replacing them with worthless, non-redeemable paper notes. That's what these people under the spell of the world. We Jews, which are Edomites, have put issue upon issue to the American people. Then we prompt both sides of the issues as confusion reigns with their eyes fixed on the issues. See, that's why this Donald Trump shit, politics, so-called drama is all manufactured to keep you in the confusion, to keep you fighting among yourselves. They even roll out some of these figureheads in the truth that sow confusion and doctrine, so you can get distracted and get confused. Right? It says, with their eyes fixed on the issues, they fail to see who is behind every scene. We Jews, which are Amalekites, Edomites, toy with the American public as a cat toys with a mouse. They killed him 30 days after his confession. Phew. Let's get all into this right here. So when you go into these Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and so on and so forth, because I think the Rockefellers is the same family as the Rothschild. They just changed their name. They'll do that too. You know, the Oppenheimers, the Warburgs, the J.P. Morgans. It says, let me issue and control a nation's money, and I care not who writes the laws. So all your politicians has been bought and paid for. They nothing but puppets. They work for these people. The Amalekites, the Edomites. Check this out. Matter of fact, I'll say that for another time because there's so much to get to. Check this out. It says the 8 families. It says the 8 families are Goldman Sachs. Matter of fact, let me show you this real quick because proving that these are Edomites. The Rothschild name, let me show you what it means. The Rothschild name comes from German phrase Zum Rothschild, which translate to at the Red Shield, the house at the Red Shield. One came out red all over, and his name was called Esau, Edom. Right, so these are proving that these Edomites. That's why they go by the house of Red Shield. Nothing is by coincidence. All right, the 8 families. It says the 8 families are Goldman Sachs, Rockefellers, Lehman's. It says in Cole Lobs of New York, which is the American side. The European side consists of Rothschilds of Paris and London, and the Warburgs of Hamburg, and the Lazards of Paris, and the Israel Moses Chiefs of Rome. It says Benjamin Strong was the first governor of the New York Federal Reserve Board, the most powerful of all the Federal Reserve banks, and someone closely allied with the 8 families. So these are some of the families that run the world, which this is meant for the country is spelled out very well by Dean Henderson. It says the 1913 creation of the Federal Reserve fused the power of the 8 families, and is more of that than these, but Rothschild will be the main family that controls all the world. Esau, Edom, Amalekites. It says the 8 families to the military and diplomatic might of the United States government. It oversees debt when unpaid. The oligarchs could now deploy the United States Marine to collect their money. Morgan Chase and Citibank soon formed the International Lending Syndicate. So all these wars are banker wars. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's get more into this. Right here. It says the Federal Reserve is Salakia. The Federal Reserve was owned by a few international banking institutions and families. the Rockefellers, the Morgans, the Warburgs, the Rothschild, the Lazard, now Eugene Meyer. It says Cohn and Loeb Company and Goldman Sachs. Rothschild's two main subordinates in the United States were originally J.P. Morgan and Cohn and Loeb. This was based on information and charts provided in the House Banking Committee staff report August 1976. This shit is wild. Let's go here. Let's go here. Right here. It says at the top. It says it's why the United States has such a stranglehold on the world because it forces the world to use its currency. That's the backup currency, not money, but currency of the world is the United States dollar. All right, check this out. Which is backed up by, it says which is backed up with nothing but fraud. It says currently nothing is backing up the petrodollar, but the United States military and is backing up the petrodollar. You know what I'm saying? That's that the king that reigned on all over the kings of the earth. That's in Revelations 18 or 17. This place Babylon. Let me get back into this. That's where the American military comes in, which is nothing more than mercenaries force used by the Bank of International Settlements and the CIA to enforce the will of the petrodollar. You don't believe me? Take sanctions. Because we can force the rest of the world to use just one currency, our own. We can also lock up that currency. All those Federal Reserve notes are forced through the system of Federal Reserve banks, whether they're in the United States or abroad. If a country, say like Iran or North Korea, is not doing as we like, we'll just lock up their assets. This is quite easy as the petrodollar is based on nothing physical or tangible, like it had been prior in 92, like it had been prior to 1971. And that means it's just a blips and dashes on the computer screen. That's how they able to do this, man. So you actually trade your time. We still in captivity for so-called fake money. This is a fake system. This is a matrix. So they set this system up of debt to enslave the world. You need nothing but a battery for the system, the power of the system of the Edomites. They run the world. They benefit off all the slavery of the world. And our people so locked into this American folly, they locked into trying to do things in the flesh that they miss all this very important stuff because they're not thinking. They're in survival mode. Many different reasons why. But it goes deep. But I ain't trying to get too deep with it because I wanted to go into this. But I say that's for another lesson because I'm running out of time. But yeah, this system as you know it has always been a fraud. Right, we are in captivity, and we praying to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah to speed up prophecy so we can get the hell up out of here. But this is why the world is so effed up. This is why most people are depressed. They on antidepressants, doing dope, smoking weed, busting down a blunt. Right, Jake is in all kind of confusion, madness, stricken with madness and these curses. They can't even get themselves out of their own confusion. Right, but I'm showing you how this set up. It's always been this way since you've been born. And this is all people know. And this information they might delete the video. They do everything to suppress this because they don't want you to know the truth. Because their whole thing is secrecy. Hopefully this has been edifying. Call Hala Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rachat, Kodash. Shalom.